The video games, the movies, the internet stuff is so violent. It's so incredible. I see it. I get to see things that you'd be amazed at. I have a very young son who I look at some of the things he's watching and I say, how is that possible?
Some of these other killers, Dylan Klebold, Eric Harris of Columbine, were steeped in these games, Adam Lanza.
The Norway killer trained on those. He said he trained on them. 69 dead on island in Norway, and he spent a year training on video games to prepare himself for this crime. The killer in Florida, he spent 15 hours a day on violent video games. The most all-consuming, all-pervasive thing in this guy's life are these violent video games.
Welcome to a new episode of Debate. I got Kyle here, I got Mo here, and not to waste any time, today's subject is, do violent video games cause violent behavior? Kyle, do you want to open it up? Opening statement for yourself. Kyle is does not think so. Mo does think so.
So yes and no, basically.
Yes.
So Kyle, you want to tell us why you think it's
I do not think video games promote violence, and here is why. I believe video games, I grew up playing video games, as well as many of my friends. We grew up playing Grand Theft Auto, Halo, Call of Duty, all the violent video games there is. It never promoted violence one bit to us. When you're playing those video games, you know it's a video game, and you know reality, and you know the consequences of reality. So, plain and simple, if you're playing that video game, you should be smart enough to know better than to cause violence.
Mo, what's your stance?
I say yes, only because like every time I play a video game, and I see a guy holding a gun in like a different way, like I see a character just holding the gun. If anytime I get like a BB gun or a fake gun, that's the same way I hold the gun. You know what I mean? That's basically, I learned that from the video game. That's what I saw in the video game. So if I could do that today, tomorrow what am I gonna do? Tomorrow I'll shoot the gun. If I see a gun tomorrow, I'll shoot the gun, even if it's jokingly.
Why are you gonna shoot a gun?
I saw it in the video game. It was okay in the video game. I'm a young kid. I don't know.
So you don't know the difference between reality.
It's not about knowing anything. It's about just doing things because you're young and stupid. And
you pick it up.
Exactly. It's just because I saw this, and it's not that nobody said this was wrong. This was wrong. Oh, I couldn't do it. If he told me, hey, you can't play this because you're this age, and you know what I mean. When you're older, you can play this. Then you'll know and understand it more. But right now, I don't understand it, so I'm gonna do that.
So hold on. Let me counter you real quick. So you said that you naturally thought this stuff was, not to do this, right?
You know it's reality and fiction.
Do you think that it's the parent's job to come in and tell them that, ever?
I think if you're a parent, you should be intent on what your children are doing and what they are playing, and you should see and you should make sure they understand. Every case is different, every child is different. Some are quicker learners than others, right. Some no, and some just take longer. But as a parent, yes, it is your job. And to come to you, I wanted to say, at a certain age, yes, if you're, how old are you talking? Because yes, of course, age is going to come into an effect. But when you're 4 and 5, you're not really playing video games like that.
But you are.
It has changed since we were kids.
Exactly.
The games are a little, I feel like violent. They're more easier to get, and they're more kind of hidden, because Fortnite's violent, right?
Exactly.
Is it T or is it M?
Fortnite is trash.
I never looked.
I don't know what it's rated, so I'm going to look it up. But
it is violent, and every kid plays.
And it's crazy right now. Every kid plays that game.
That's why it's popular.
But it is in a cartoon form, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, I'm thinking of my niece. When you say little, when you're little, I think of my niece who's 4. And then my nephew who is 9, he plays, he's into Fortnite. But he knows. At 9 years old, he knows the difference between reality. He knows its consequences. He knows what is real and what isn't real. He knows if he picked up a gun and shot it, it would cause harm. It would potentially kill someone or hurt someone. And that's at 9 years old. If we go, let's say 7 and below, maybe 6 and below, then I would say yes. You don't maybe know what you're doing to the fullest. So, and with video games, they are, they're age restrictions. So you got, teen, you got, how do you know the...
It's T, like E10 and...
Yeah, so
M.
you got your, you have to have, you can't buy that game unless you have your parents' permission.
Yeah, but sometimes parents do just buy it.
Right,
Yeah.
they do.
Well, hold on, not to cut you off, but do you have something that you wanted to add?
No, since we're talking about age here, because you said something about...
Well, I want to say one thing is that it's not all about gun violence, technically. You can just think about if a kid's getting bold, like, it brings out aggression. Like, do you think it promotes more fighting? Or, if a kid gets angry and they see stuff on video games, like, can it promote them to, break out and stuff like that?
That's basically me saying, copying the way I was holding the gun. You know what I mean? So, there's different types of video games that are violent. Okay, today you saw someone choking somebody and breaking their neck.
Right.
Like, if you got into a fight, you're going to try to do that. You're not going to just
that means you're learning. You learn how to fight.
But
it's not promoted as self-defense.
But how is that? But you saw that in video games.
You don't just randomly go
But
choke.
You could.
They don't tell you to kill somebody, though. They don't. Nobody says kill somebody. Nobody says that. Self-defense is not you killing someone. It's trying to protect yourself.
But this has been around forever with cartoons. I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. That's fighting all the time. And in 3rd grade, I was out here choking people from behind and beating them up because I saw it on Dragon Ball Z. You got to know better if you're watching these things. You just naturally have to know what is real and what is acceptable and what isn't acceptable.
But with everything that we have today, okay, we didn't have back then when you were watching Dragon Ball Z. You know that, right? Everything that's available to us today, the resources that we have,
What resources?
makes us everything. Like social media, just in general. How many people do you see getting killed? How many people do you see things happening?
On Twitter, that stuff is rampant.
Exactly. So this becomes okay naturally because we seeing this so much that we think, oh, it's happening everywhere.
I'd say yes in high school, for the high school age level, and middle school. Elementary school, not so much because I know they're not really on social media like that. But in high school, middle school, yes. But we did have MySpace in middle school.
But that wasn't nothing.
We didn't get posted of people getting shot.
Exactly.
MySpace.
So, finish.
For school shootings, I agree. It's become a trend from the media, and they see, oh, this person shot up a school. It's influenced me to shoot up a school and take out my anger in this way. I don't think it's from video games. I think it's from just seeing it from other kids do it. It's become a trend. It's kind of like every other trend there is.
Okay, so before I'm gonna let it go a minute over because we're almost done. It's kind of crazy, right? Let's see. Sorry, American Psychological Association. This is from CNN. Said that 90% of children in the United States play video games, and among kids between ages 12 and 17, the number rises to 97%. More important, 85% or more of video games on the market have some form of violence. So, do you think that, obviously, that attributes,
exactly,
in your opinion?
Yep.
Because there's so much, right?
That age, just saying that gap between 12 and 17 is basically what, like, all those kids have younger generation brothers, sisters. So when a 12-year-old is playing a violent game and his 4-year-old brother is sitting next to him, he's watching the game. He's watching the same thing he's watching. He might not be playing, but he's watching. And so today he goes outside and throws a rock at someone and hits him in the head. He's a little kid, you know what I mean? He's a little kid.
And hopefully
but that didn't just come to him
that.
naturally. But that didn't just come to him naturally because he saw something in the video game that triggered that. So that violence is coming from...
I mean, throwing rocks, I feel like that's pretty natural for a kid to do.
All right.
You see something, you're going to throw it.
But
I'm going to go the Yoda route.
just last words here, 'cause we'll wrap it up.
What causes violence is anger. Anger leads to the dark side.
Just in general.
Why you cut me off like that?
Sorry, sir, we're out of time. Thank you. But if you want to watch any more, we're gonna have an extended cut. But I'd like to thank these two. They both made a good opinion.
I feel
Now, for the stats of the survey that we took, 60%.